The iPhone XS Max is Apple's new flagship, larger device. Is it really worth the upgrade from the iPhone X? Let's get into it. I was able to pick up a XS Max on launch day, so I've had this thing for about a month, and I've been testing and reviewing and comparing it with my previous iPhone X. So the iPhone XS and the iPhone XS Max actually share very similar specs. The only real difference being the screen size and the battery size. Usually for me when it comes to screens, it's always the bigger the better. I like watching YouTube and I like consuming media on my phone. I also spend a lot of time on my phone for social media and for handling things with the YouTube channel. So I'm always a fan of a bigger screen, anything that makes it a little bit easier to work and get things done. Something that was a little unfortunate for me with this larger screen size though, I've yet to see anything really utilize the larger form factor over the iPhone XS or the original iPhone X. Everything is just a little bit larger. There's no difference in features similar to an iPad versus an iPhone. That being said, the screen looks crystal clear and sharp. I didn't really notice much of a difference in quality from last year, but last year's was a mind-blowing difference from the previous 7. You also still have the notch on this phone. I never really had a big issue with it last year. I've grown accustomed to it, I'm used to it, it's no problem. But there is one major upgrade I noticed from the iPhone X to the iPhone XS, and that is the camera. This back-facing camera is just leaps and bounds better than the iPhone X. I've actually been sneaking iPhone XS pictures into my Instagram feed against my Sony a7 III. I don't think anybody's noticed. It's the first time I've had a cell phone that I feel like can compete with this camera. The detail is insane, the dynamic range is just absurd and unreal and better than any professional camera. Just because of all of that computer processing that they're doing. They're actually taking and exposing different parts of the image separately and combining it all into one. It really looks incredible. I'm not usually one for those crazy over-processed HDR images, but it just gives you so much to work with when you're editing. So for all of those gripes and negatives aside, the camera more than makes up for it in my opinion. But this was a little bit of an unexciting upgrade for me. If I didn't have that Sprint yearly upgrade program where I'm essentially paying the same amount, I probably would have just held off another year. So if you already have the iPhone X, I definitely wouldn't recommend upgrading. Wait another year, see what happens, unless that camera is a make or break difference for you. But everything else beside the camera feels very similar to last year. But that was all. I just wanted to share a few of my thoughts on the new iPhone XS Max. If you're upgrading from something before the 10, I think this is a worthwhile upgrade. But if you just got a new phone last year, and if you're not part of one of those cell phone carrier upgrade programs, I would recommend just to hold off for next year. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, helps me out a ton, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Put out new videos every Monday and Friday. Leave me a comment down below. Do you plan on getting the iPhone XS or XS Max? Do you already have it? Do you have the 10 last year? Are you planning on switching? I'd love to get a good discussion going. But until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.